What's up, brother? You know, we've been working hard for a long time, you know what I mean? And this is basically makes me happy, and to see my dad that he's able to buy himself, you know, a house with a big private gym. I know there's a lot of things that we could accomplish, and there's a lot of things that we could give back, not only to our people, but to our community, you know what I mean? We got a lot of fighters here. One of our friends painted this. He goes to the first Benavidez boxing gym, the one in Burien. He paints them all himself, so he's a talented brother. So but yeah, this is my dad's design, you know what I mean? This is actually my first time, you know, starting training camp here in this gym.
Stretch it down, pull it up. Ready, go. 10, 9, 8, 7, power, 6, 5, power, 4, power, 3, 2, one more. Good, under here, roll under the bed.
As training camp gets underway, Fan in Boxing reports that Gervonta "Tank" Davis has officially parted ways with longtime trainer Calvin Ford and is now working with Jose Benavidez Sr. This surprising move has instantly sparked major discussion across the boxing world. Fans are now asking what this major coaching change could mean for Tank's mindset, preparation, and the way he performs when he returns to the ring.
10 seconds. Super focused, super motivated.
You gonna feel all this shit we gotta do? Look, hey Tank, we gonna go 35 for 12.
The report also points to a troubling atmosphere behind the scenes. According to the discussion, the relationship inside the camp broke down after paid informants allegedly found their way into the team's inner circle. Trust reportedly disappeared as people who were once considered loyal began leaking private information from the camp in exchange for money, creating serious problems within the team.
Seems like it's official that Gervonta Davis has a new trainer named Jose Benavidez. In this video, though, because there's a lot of conversations going on about what this means for Gervonta Davis as far as his skill set, as far as like his motivation to be in boxing, and whether or not Jose Benavidez Sr. can ignite that fire in Gervonta Davis. Well, in this video, I want to talk about that, but I also want to talk about a real reason for what took place in Gervonta Davis's camp. And one of the reasons that he's no longer with Coach Kenny and Coach Calvin. And I think it's an important thing to say because it's not all on Coach Calvin, it's not all on Coach Kenny, and it's not all on Gervonta.
This conflict was not something that happened overnight. The tension had reportedly been building for years, forcing those around the team to constantly deal with information leaks. In response, strict rules were put in place to keep everyone quiet. A complete media blackout was introduced in an effort to protect the fighters' focus and preserve what little peace remained inside the camp.
I have been paying attention to that camp for a while. I know people in that camp. I know people around that camp. And I can tell you without a doubt that the major issue with Gervonta Davis and that particular camp was the fact that there's so many paid snitches in his camp. It was replete with family members and other people who, whenever they got a piece of information about Gervonta Davis, would try to go out and give that information to somebody else in exchange for money. So Gervonta is looking up at the internet, seeing what's being said about him, hearing this information coming out about himself, and saying, "Man, where is this coming?"
According to the discussion, the situation went far beyond simple rumors. Hidden sources were allegedly using social media to spread information and create problems from within the organization. The speaker even compares these tactics to one of boxing's most famous rivalries, suggesting that the psychological games being played today resemble the mental warfare that has shaped some of the sport's greatest battles.
Originally, and this was a couple years ago, I remember when Gervonta started getting upset with it, and he started blocking people and getting mad about stuff, and he started telling Kenny and Calvin, that basically not to be announcing things, not to say things about who he's going to fight next or what he's going to do next, because Gervonta started getting irritated about that. I also know that Calvin Ford stopped talking to the media for a long period of time. Kenny Ellis stopped talking to the media about Gervonta in that way because they were appeasing Gervonta and Gervonta's desire to have that information kept in-house, right? So to the extent that they were having conversations that Gervonta Davis didn't want to have, they had nipped that in the bud several years.
Shawn Porter then shares his thoughts on Tank's decision. He believes Gervonta Davis may actually feel comfortable in this new, energetic training environment. Porter wonders if the shared intensity and competitive mindset between Tank and Jose Benavidez Sr. could be exactly what fits the champion's unpredictable personality and aggressive style.
However, what happened is you have family members and other members in the gym that have connections with people that have Twitter pages, connections with people that have YouTube pages, and they continued, the people with the Twitter pages and the YouTube pages continue to pay these people money for inside information about Gervonta, and he got very distrustful. Now, if you think, okay, well, man, that's not that big a deal. You go and, people know, it happens all the time where you have spies in camp. Like one particular incident that I know about that really enlightened me to that problem in boxing was when Andre Ward was fighting Sergey Kovalev, and Andre Ward was just being very vocal about knowing what was going on with John David Jackson and what was going on with Sergey Kovalev. And he was telling basically, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're drinking this and you're drinking this and you're doing that. And your problem was here and your problem is there. Andre Ward knew the whole thing. How? Because he had a spy in the camp. The problem with that, with Gervonta, is when you have spies around him in his family, in the gyms in Baltimore, you have people that leak information that are trying to harm.
Porter continues by explaining that every great fighter needs something that keeps the competitive fire burning inside. He believes this new trainer-fighter relationship could provide that missing spark. If everything comes together, this partnership might allow both men to work in complete harmony and bring out the very best in each other.
I'm not sure if that's a great matchup.
I feel like there's some comfort there.
Is that what it is?
I feel like that's what it is. I feel like there's some.
They
comfort
both
there.
killers.
He's down in Florida, if I'm not mistaken.
Miami, yeah.
Washington,
Yeah, he's between
Seattle,
Washington,
Washington,
Florida.
Florida, Arizona,
Yeah.
Vegas.
He be everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which might match the lifestyle of Gervonta Davis,
Yeah. Surprising to see it. I think. But I feel like he's comfortable with.
Anthony Bell then questions whether this unusual partnership really makes sense. His comments introduce another layer of doubt to the conversation. The panel discusses whether Jose Benavidez Sr. can recreate the same success he enjoyed while training members of his own family, now that he is guiding an entirely different fighter.
And just telling y'all what I know, sometimes that's all it takes. Whatever's going to get this light flip up, turned on, and keep it on, sometimes it's comfort. I just need somebody that I feel comfortable with, that I can be myself with, and that, when I'm ready to move, they moving. When they ready to move, I'm moving. And I feel like he thinks he has that with Jose.
I don't know.
That's just right off the top of the head.
He likes to
seeing
move
that
when he wants to move.
Turning back to the split itself, Shawn Zittel admits that the falling out between Tank Davis and Calvin Ford is difficult to understand. Looking back at Ford's career, he points out how the respected trainer built fighters from the ground up and developed a proven system that earned admiration throughout boxing.
That's weird. That's a weird one for me. I ain't gonna lie.
Why?
It's just only like it's paired up right. Like I feel like Jose can definitely train his son. I'm not sure about everything.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. We seen him train Jose and David, and then also
Pacheco and Rayo.
Jose Rayo, yeah, and Pacheco as well. Pacheco isn't with him,
And they
anymore,
both are gone.
Yeah.
now.
And yeah, they both are.
Zittel finishes by remembering the many occasions when Calvin Ford was the one person capable of motivating Tank during difficult training sessions and helping him overcome slow periods in the gym. That history leaves many wondering how such a strong relationship, built over so many years, could fall apart so completely.
Business, but I just don't. I don't add up the beef with him and Calvin Ford. Really, I guess Calvin may have done an interview or two that Gervonta didn't like, but it's like that
made no sense, man.
Look, I remember when I saw Truck Simpson spar before Truck tailed off when he had promise. No offense, Truck. Much love to you, but when Truck was 18, 19 years old, and it was like, oh, this kid, he has talent, he has real upside. He threw his punches in the same way Gervonta Davis did. He had a lot of the same kind of rhythm that Gervonta did, and that's what made me go, Calvin is a good trainer. Even though Calvin didn't move the needle for Jahan Ingram over the weekend. Jahan Ingram lost to Devin Cushing. It didn't look like Calvin had a big impact on him winning. And he wound up losing to Devin Cushing. Devin Cushing, bigger guy, anyways. But when I saw Truck do that, I go, okay, so Calvin has an imprint. He has a system. There's a way a guy he builds from scratch in the Baltimore amateur program looks. And so that made me lend more credence to Calvin.
Although Tank Davis has officially begun this demanding training camp with Jose Benavidez Sr., many questions still surround his immediate future. Early reports suggested that a blockbuster fight against Kid Austin had already been finalized. However, despite all the speculation, there has still been no official announcement confirming that matchup.
I just remember Tank being in the gym for the Santa Cruz fight, came in heavy and was in Floyd's gym, and he didn't that spark didn't come and Floyd was trying to get it out of him. It wasn't really happening in the first couple weeks. He had to wait to wire. He had a couple months until the Santa Cruz fight date. But once Calvin came to the gym from Baltimore, the spark started and the light came on, and I was like, that's a bond. And I don't know, I'm just, it's like I don't know what the big beef is. Why Calvin built you from scratch. He has always went to bat for you, even when you make it very hard for someone to go to bat for you with all the shit you put you yourself and your fan base through and the boxing world through. And Calvin's always tried to say the right things to not offend you. But hey.
Adding even more excitement, Gervonta Davis sent shockwaves through boxing after issuing a strong knockout warning aimed directly at both Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney. Those bold comments immediately raised the tension throughout the sport, leaving fans eager to find out which fighter will ultimately step into the ring against one of boxing's biggest stars.
And Floyd Schofield are edging a little bit closer to a fight. What are you hearing from that end?
Yeah, I'm hearing all positive. I'm hearing these negotiations have been progressing in a very positive way between the sides of Gervonta Davis and Floyd Schofield. Now, we have not seen Gervonta Davis in the ring since that disputed draw against Lamont Roach early last year. We have not seen Floyd Schofield in the ring since the stunning one-round knockout over Tevin Farmer last June. There were some plans back in April to get Floyd Schofield into the ring, but he and his father, who's also his manager, who's also his co-trainer, they said, we don't want any kind of stay busy fight. We want a world title fight, and they want that fight against Gervonta Tank Davis. Again, I am told a lot of positive progress to the point that they're discussing dates for this fight. They're discussing September, late September, or early October to match Floyd Schofield against Gervonta Davis for that WBA 135-pound title.
All right, I got one more for you.
Meanwhile, Floyd Schofield Sr. responded with harsh criticism. He accused Tank of using social media simply to distract the public from the real issue. According to Schofield Sr., the online callouts are nothing more than a smoke screen designed to hide the fact that Davis is avoiding his dangerous mandatory challenger.
Said to this, right? And I don't hide it. I said that I think that there's three people in the world that I think that could beat Tank. That would be Devin, that would be Shakur, and Tank Davis himself.
Yeah,
right.
You got the last one right. That's the only person that can beat me, Gervonta Davis. That's the only person. Them niggas cannot touch me at all. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring with me. They all been in the ring, and I cracked both of them. I feel
you, but check this right there. But okay, so you telling me you cracked both of them, right? But I was also told that Devin got the best of you in the last sparring session.
He didn't get no best of me. He didn't get no best of me. He did not get no best of me.
He jumped right off the plane and sparred Devin. Right off the plane.
No best of me. He didn't get no best of me.
Let me tell you something, man. You can go on the internet.
And you know I sparred him twice. I fought him twice.
Right.
First
And
time
Bill
his father took him out the ring.
admitted that.
Second
Bill
time I
and that
fought,
both
I
said that.
almost knocked him out in Floyd gym. Did they tell you that? Did they tell you
I don't know
almost
about.
knocked him out in the gym? Did they tell
I
you
don't
that?
know, but I ain't hear that.
Oh, okay.
Schofield Sr. continued by expressing concern about what he sees happening throughout modern boxing. In his opinion, the growing focus on fame, popularity, and quick money is damaging the sport's traditional values. He believes that giving up a world title and leaving a division sends the wrong message to young fighters who spend years working for an opportunity to compete at the highest level.
It's a duck. A duck is a duck. He just needed a big diversion to make people believe and look away from him ducking his mandatory person. He ducked us before he had the Roach fight, too. He ducked us over a year. So a duck is a duck. That's all I have to say. Because if Keyshawn's supposed to be fighting Devin, why he calling out Devin? If he not moving up to fight Shakur, why he calling out Shakur? And he has a mandatory. So he preferred to give up his belt. So thank you. We have no problem becoming a world champion. The boogeyman left. He ran. So that's all that shit is smoke and mirrors. They've been calling each other out for years now. All of them. Has it ever happened?
I don't think it's happening now.
So this is just a diversion so people don't look at him like, yo, you really ducked your man.
During all of this, Devin Haney added even more intrigue by posting a series of mysterious messages on social media. He first excited fans with a simple, "Let's go" post before following it with another message that appeared to tease a matchup involving Haney versus Davis. Soon afterward, he quoted that same post again with the caption, "Key," leading many fans to believe he was hinting at a highly anticipated showdown with Keyshawn Davis. Even with all of these public callouts and apparent fight announcements from several camps, nobody knows for certain who Gervonta Davis will face next. At the same time, David Benavidez shifted attention toward his own future. He confidently stated that he plans to remain at 175 pounds while pursuing a fight against Dimitri Bivol. Benavidez made it clear that his goal is to conquer the light heavyweight division completely and deliver the undisputed championship fights that boxing fans have been waiting to see.
And that's acceptable. For the YouTubers, yeah, I get y'all. It's about money. It's about fame. Yeah, that's the Floyd Mayweather era. That's the era that's fading out. We of the era that you work your way up to number one, you fight the champion. Because that's what gives hope to these kids in the hood or these kids going through the amateurs. The hope when they get to number one in the ranking, they can have their chance at fighting for a world title. You take that away, then you destroy boxing. So, smoke and mirrors, man. The man gave up his title and hauled.
Responding to rumors about eventually moving into the heavyweight division, Benavidez quickly dismissed the idea. He explained that the size and punching power at heavyweight create a completely different challenge. For now, his focus remains on dominating the light heavyweight division before taking on elite opponents such as Artur Beterbiev.
Yeah, 100%. We're going after Dimitri Bivol.
Okay, that's it.
I told you guys that's what I got. That's what I wanted to do, and just so the fans they have something to look up to. That's look forward to. That's why I give you guys my breakdowns, what I'm trying to do, what are my plans. And I told you guys I was gonna come back down and fight Bivol, and that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Now I won 2 more titles at cruiserweight. Now it's time to capture the rest of the titles at light heavyweight.
Addressing the story takes another unexpected turn as Gilberto "Zurdo" Ramirez enters the conversation by calling out David Benavidez. His challenge immediately creates fresh excitement and raises new possibilities. Fans are now wondering whether the Mexican star might temporarily leave his plans at light heavyweight behind to accept a major cruiserweight showdown against one of the division's top champions. Even so, there is still no official confirmation regarding Benavidez's next opponent.
A lot of people talking about heavyweight, but these are big guys. This is an extremely different type of power. So I'm not thinking about heavyweight anytime soon. If I think of heavyweight, maybe that's probably by 5-6 years. But what I really wanted to do is I want to become unified champion at 175 and become a dominant champion at 175. I've been telling you guys I want to get Dimitri Bivol, then Artur Beterbiev, and I know those are 2 fights that all the world of boxing wants to see. So right now that I can make 175 comfortably, I feel like We got to make that happen.
The future of boxing appears to be entering a fascinating new chapter as several of the sport's biggest names continue making important decisions behind closed doors. With Gervonta "Tank" Davis completely reshaping his training team, Devin Haney building anticipation through social media, and David Benavidez chasing the biggest fights available at light heavyweight, the boxing landscape continues to change at a rapid pace. Every move these fighters make could have a lasting impact on their careers and ultimately shape their legacies. The rivalries are becoming increasingly personal, with psychological battles now extending far beyond what happens inside the ring. As new developments continue to unfold, fans are preparing for what could become one of the most exciting periods in modern boxing. A single mistake, or even one leaked piece of information, could completely change a champion's future. Moments like these often determine who stands at the top of the sport for years to come, leaving almost no room for error. What are your thoughts on Gervonta "Tank" Davis leaving longtime trainer Calvin Ford to begin working with Jose Benavidez Sr.? Do you think this major coaching change will improve his performances when he returns to the ring? Will Devin Haney's teased matchup with Keyshawn Davis become the fight that captures everyone's attention? Or will David Benavidez succeed in securing a showdown with Dimitri Bivol as he continues his pursuit of an undisputed legacy? Do you believe that constant leaks and paid informants inside modern training camps are damaging the trust that once existed in boxing? How much do you think Gilberto "Zurdo" Ramirez's challenge changes the direction of Benavidez's career? Should Benavidez accept that dangerous cruiserweight fight, or should he stay focused on his original goals? When everything finally settles, who do you believe will still be the true boogeyman in these weight divisions? Has the pressure created by social media and accusations of ducking pushed today's fighters into accepting major fights earlier than they originally planned? And if Benavidez chooses to ignore the cruiserweight challenge, would that affect the way fans view his willingness to fight anyone? Share your opinions in the comments section below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more boxing updates and future videos.